And the 25-year-old student from Finland will call and put himself at risk. But he's ahead. So Kangas trying to double up through the new bracelet winner.
Tran needs a jack.
River card is another 5. And Kangas will win and double up.
I'm still alive.
Kenny had a great run at last year's main event, but since we last saw the 32-year-old father of 3 from Los Angeles, he and his family have been through a lot.
I got 3 kids. My oldest one is Amy, and she's just turned 11. You know, I went home and she told me, Dad, I'm so painful, I'm so hurt. And, you know, so we took her to the hospital. I was so scared. I mean, I'm so afraid. We found out that she have a tumor in her stomach. It's the biggest volleyball. It's the end of the world. I mean, it's the most painful day of my life. And, finally, now that's after 8 months of her treatments, she recover slowly, and she's really brave. I mean, she's actually stronger than me and her mom. Something like that's only taught you one lesson, that nothing more important than your family. It doesn't matter how much I win or I lose on my poker game. It's nothing matter. It just come home and see my family, my kids. Is what keep you warm at night.
Kenny won his first World Series of Poker bracelet this year on Father's Day, which he said made it even more special.
Tran won his bracelet in the Heads Up No Limit Hold'em Championship and earned more than $500,000.
Back over to table 2, Daniel Negreanu remains active as usual. 4 players saw the flop. Hoyt and Daniel checked. Rauna Juarez bet 200. Action is on Eric Dempsey.
Raise to 600.
And he's going to raise it up to 600, as you heard the dealer say.
Dempsey is an actuary. I've never met an actuary.
He has top pair, top kicker.
Hoyt's got nothing but a good-looking cowboy hat.
And folds. Daniel with flush and straight draws, and he calls. Juarez will fold.
No more for you, huh?
So heads up, Negreanu and Dempsey.
I got to beat you a pot sooner or later. I think this is the one.
Where do you meet an actuary? An actuary saloon?
A jack of hearts, and Negreanu hit his flush.
15.
But Dempsey has the nut flush draw.
It looks like Daniel's going to beat him in a pot now.
Check, see if you got a heart in the hole. That's what you're doing, right? I'm just saying. It's okay. Do your thing. Take your time. Got one?
Yes, he's got one, Daniel. You don't want him to have one, just in case?
Dempsey's not going to gamble.
Good decision.
Indeed, a good decision from Dempsey.
Good bluff. Oh, yeah, everyone thinks I bluffed because I didn't show, right? Yeah.
I hope you had 2 nice turns.
What, I couldn't have a flush, huh? I couldn't have 2 hearts in the hole over there? I think I did.
Me too. The 2008 World Series of Poker was Eric Lindgren's year. He started quickly by capturing his first World Series bracelet, and that jump-started what would become the closest race ever for Player of the Year. Throughout the series, the top 10 was a who's who list of poker greats. But each fell short of the most deserving winner, Eric Lindgren, who made 2 more final tables and walked away with the Player of the Year title, firmly etching his name in World Series of Poker history. And it all came down to Lindgren and Barry Greenstein. Whoever outlasted the other in that horse championship would grab this title, and Eric did it.
Eric Lindgren, like Daniel Negreanu, now has been WPT and World Series Player of the Year.
You think we can trust you, huh? You can just reach in and get your own change?
Eric talking to Andrea Pive.
I trust you. He doesn't know.
Dealers don't trust anybody.
You trust a poker player?
All right, action on Michel Abacassis at this featured table. Jack 8 of diamonds. He limps in for 200. Mir folds to Pave now. He lays it down. Eric, 7-6 offsuit.
That's why most of Norman Chad's relationships fall apart. Lack of trust.
I trust no one.
Abacassis and Lindgren heads up. Now the flop. Michel pairs his jack.
You never heard the announcer for ESPN? He always gets divorced. Maybe if he had a little more trust in his relationship, they would last.
What, suddenly he's Dr. Phil? Plus, he's talking to somebody who lives in Italy. I don't think the guy is that familiar with me.
Michel bets 300 with the lead.
If you met Norman, you'd know what I was talking about. You know?
Lindgren folds.
Strange guy.
Very strange.
Very strange. That's what I hear. A lot of bad jokes.
Lon, did I tell you the one about the sailor, the priest,
Stop.
and the actuary?
The guy that does it with him, though, Lon, he's the nuts.
Oh, suddenly he's a big Lon McEachern fan? May the two of you live happily ever after in your miserable lives.
We really should have Eric at the feature table a little more often. All right, on the E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see the top 5 female finishes. Barbara Enright is the only woman to make a main event final table.
13-250.
There are over 200 women in this year's main event field. There's Kathy Liebert, who just doubled up with pocket aces.
Good time to double up.
Kathy has 1 bracelet, 6 final tables, and 24 World Series cashes.
And she had a 3rd place finish this year. Nearby is rising poker star Vanessa Russo. She just pushed all in against Carl Petrat of Florida. Action on Petrat, who leads with pocket queens.
Vanessa's engaged to fellow poker pro Chad Brown.
And Petrat makes the call. And Vanessa is behind, but with a flush draw. Vanessa has 5 World Series cashes, but she'll need help to extend her tournament life here. That jack is no help.
She still needs an ace or a heart.
Ace or a heart.
River card. And she got the ace. So Vanessa rivers that ace to stay alive. Dishes out the tough beat to the amateur.
16. Last catch.
Well, I wasn't going to fold him. Since it was 5,000, I think
My girl got her money in just fine. Now that that's settled, I wouldn't mind getting a wedding invitation in the mail.
I know you send good gifts. All right, back to table 2. Negreanu and 3 others saw the flop. Daniel got the best of it, hitting top pair. He bets 400. Juarez now will lay it down. David Icke folds. Action on John Mars. He'll stick around with a flush draw. He's a 41-year-old from Oakland, Michigan. Turn card now is a 4 of spades. Mars adds a gut shot straight draw and checks.
Daniel loves that board.
Pair of 10s, he bets 1,100. And Mars will follow.
Don't blame him for calling. Implied odds, Lon. I'll explain it to you during the commercial.
5 of spades on the river. I know implied odds are just the pot odds adjusted for future betting.
Dang.
Negreanu gets the check mark. Mars with a pair of 5s checks.
Daniel getting low on chips.
He bets
24.
2,400.
Mars can only beat a bluff here. He really can only call if he doesn't think Daniel has an honest face.
How could you not think that face is honest? Oh, that's a tell. Mars does call. And Daniel's 10s are best.
I finally hit one.
Mars, the World Series rookie, just learned that experience at the biggest game on earth is a valuable asset in getting you to day 2 at the main event.
2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, main event.
Back inside the crowded Rio poker room where getting noticed is easy for some.
What are you going to do with the Italian stallion now? I'm all in.
We're all listening to Silvio Formica.
I'm the greatest player in the world and never won a major tournament. Now, how do you like it now? Report to the rail. Don't you ever try to beat me.
Report to the rail.
There's the bluff right there. I had the best hand going in. Don't worry about it. I didn't outdraw him. He outdrawed me.
Report to the rail is a keeper.
I hate when I get outdrawed. Back to table 2 and Daniel Negreanu.
Wait, if it's all right with you, I'm going to play a few pots today.
Okay, you take the lead.
You just let me know when you want to play one, and I'll run out of your way.
I won't play many.
All right, till later.
4 players saw the flop. Daniel with ace-10 again, hit top pair again, and he's going to bet 325.
How much more do I have?
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
That's Andy Potta.
I've got about 18,000. You're scaring me by asking me that question. I'm getting all the GBs now.
Everyone started with 20,000.
Okay, next time.
All right, next
Potta
time.
will fold.
Next, it's up to you now. What do you got?